Hi Sagittarius, here's a general look at your solar chart for December 2010, but just first of all a word about the sign. Sagittarius, a fire sign. It's one of the mutable signs, meaning that you have a versatility and an adaptability to your nature. It's very strongly communications orientated, but also loves travel. In fact, Sagittarius is known as the nomad of the zodiac. Also the sage, Sagittarius, the teacher, the guide, the mentor, usually coming into your own in the second half of the life, because the first half is you taking a few hard knocks in and learning a few things and distilling a kind of a wisdom from what you've learnt. Some of you may be into academia, because there's something about Sagittarius which is the eternal student, whether that's formal or informal. You are also known as a seer of the zodiac, a kind of inner sight, the prophet in a kind of a way. Some of you could have deeper insight or dreams, prophetic dreams. That kind of thing is quite common with Sagittarius, but you really are very much a teacher, communicator person, somebody who has a philosophical aspect to you, trying to see the bigger picture in the detail of every day, but also within that detail of day-to-day life, drawing from that, extracting from that an essence which helps you understand it, you know, in a more kind of a global sort of sense. And many of you are interested in, you know, the law, politics, what goes on in other countries, other cultures. Kind of a key phrase for Sagittarius is it's all better to travel than arrive. Sagittarius is a fire sign, as I say. It's very colourful. It's the 9th sign of the zodiac. You do love colour, connected actually to fairs, you know, travelling circuses and fairs. And your colour, well, it's the turquoise, but also the purples. So here we have turquoise in your honour, I'm wearing here, and also this kind of purple top. And your stones would be anything with those sorts of colours prominent. So power shell, the turquoise stone that I'm wearing as well, but anything in that sort of area there. Yes. And parts of the body, hips and thighs, you're a very known to be an athletic sign. The symbol for your sign is Sagittarius, the archer, half man, half horse, the centaur, who needs a target to aim at. You're not a happy bunny when you can't get a sort of long distance view and aim at a target. So always remember that about yourself. And also you probably think better when you're outside, working those thigh muscles, you know, moving those legs, walking, and perhaps your head will be very full of stuff, but that kind of helps to dissipate any pent-up nervous energy or thoughts that are going round and round and round in your head. You have an expansive sort of personality. Your ruling planet Jupiter is a big jolly giant, and actually is a great protector in our solar system, bouncing away potentially disastrous meteor strikes from our much smaller planet. It's a big gas giant, so sometimes you can be a bit kind of gossipy and chatty to you know, and but always trying to get at the truth of something, always good-hearted, always, you know, but sometimes you can be a bit clumsy. I mean, physically you can be clumsy too, tripping over your own shoelaces, but also sometimes hitting people over the head with the truth, you know, what you see as the right way. So rather righteous at times, getting up on your soapbox. But as I say, it is generally well meant. You can be a bit of a chancer, you can sail a bit close to the wind sometimes, take a few risks, but you tend to be lucky. And maybe you need to be, because in your travels through life, whether you are physically a traveller or travel very much in your mind, sometimes, like I say, you trust to Lady Luck a little bit too much. So yes, perhaps Jupiter, the lucky planet, helps you out a little bit like that. But you're more, the glass is half full rather than the glass is half empty person. But sometimes you can bite off more than you can chew, or you overinflate, with an expectation or an idea about somebody or something. You've got a great interest in religion as well, some of you. It can compute like that, or should I say maybe a very sort of spiritual nature. But sometimes you can, your expectations can be too high, and then the bubble gets pricked and collapses, and you come down to earth with a bump. But like that sort of little yellow plastic duck in the bath, no matter how hard you try and how hard the pressure pushes you down, you always pop back up to the surface again. Sometimes it doesn't feel like that, but in general I would say, that is what happens, because you do have amazing faith, and because you have that, you have huge inner resources and inner strength. Anyway, for this month, the sun's in your sign up until the 22nd, and it means that the way is clearer now really for you to get on with the kinds of things that you enjoy, things that interest you and help you to shine in your own special way. Discussions and plans are going to have a very practical slant to them, perhaps around property, perhaps around finances. That's up until the 19th. Thereafter, avoid getting scattered when there's a lot of head stuff going on, and maybe you're just being you're sort of overwhelmed mentally. A lot of influences coming at you, so just don't overstretch your nervous energy, because if there's one thing with you, Sagittarius, is that like your opposite sign, Gemini, you can get nervy sometimes, and anxious really. So just watch out for that. Then it's not likely to be a huge deal, but take a break and withdraw whenever you can. So anyway, it's going to be a sociable time, good for mental exchange, bouncing ideas off others, making new connections. But there'll be more of a demand on you mentally. You could be asking a lot of questions as well. You could be digging and delving and seeking something out, researching certain facts, or up until the 19th, literally looking at material goods and property. And I know that seems like an obvious thing to say for this time of the year, but there it is, written in the stars as well. Underlying that, you really want to get to the bottom line on something. You want to get a key insight into something. But also, Mercury retrogrades between the 9th and the 31st, meaning possible travel hold-ups, but also meaning that you may have to rethink something, or perhaps remember things as well, and work harder like that. You are more likely to have to zoom in more closely, take more effort with what you are trying to articulate, but also maybe with what others are trying to express, or reading between the lines of what they are trying to express when Mercury is retrograde between the 9th and the 31st. The spoken or the written word, or anything with art or media, is more highlighted from the 19th as well. So you may be looking more deeply into something. It could be something around material security, getting more insight there, but also maybe keeping your cards close to your chest with certain people about certain things. Mars has been in your sign for a while now, and will be there until the end of the first week, making you more physically active and bolder about initiating things, but also putting more demand on your physical energy, but giving you more of an appetite to be creative and perhaps a bit competitive as well. From the second week, the physical focus shifts, and then it will have more of a practical flavor around what nourishes you, or around anything to do with finances, the material, physical side of life. Then, and discussions and plans can be around that aspect of life too, and also physical well-being. So maybe looking to the future there a little bit, but also getting more out of the comfort zone. And so that could mean you could be doing something with your space that's really quite active within the space, or someone else's, and getting involved with the practicalities of organising, helping them organise something with or for them, and it could be around property as well. Also, you want to get your hands on certain things, so that will entail spending money, Sagittarius, but also you could be considering the best use of assets, and also because it's a dynamic energy, things could be coming towards you from others. Venus remains in this very private area of your solar chart until early January. Has made you maybe more emotionally sensitive at times, definitely more open to subtle energies. It means you may feel nostalgic or sentimental about maybe a past relationship, it could be, or maybe you are more likely to be considering another's interests at this time. You may be keeping quiet with certain others about aspects of your feelings, because you are more sensitive to their feelings. So there's a kind of a compassionate feel related to the position of Venus. But also another way it can work is that you're just biding your time, maybe being quite active, but sort of, it's about timing. So you're biding your time as things are slowly coming together and coming to fruition. This is also a great transit for any of you working in spirituality or healing or any of the arts, so great for the imagination as well. Now, the new moon in your sign signals that you are likely to feel freer about going public. That's from the 6th of December. Coming out with, going public with what you've been working on behind the scenes or keeping to yourself. For 2+ years, Saturn is going to be reminding you that certain groups of friendships have just outlived their relevance. You may be thinking very differently about how to achieve goals which have been on the back burner for a long time in your life. And now you're going to get the chance to really work hard, take those seriously, and develop those at this stage of your life's journey. You may begin mingling with a very different bunch of people. And for a while, you'll be trying to understand your position in the pecking order there, or learning perhaps some new techniques or language or set of ethics or philosophy, just familiarizing yourself with a new territory mentally or physically or both. And in some way this could improve your material outlook, through finances or property, or in other sort of ways, but on that sort of physical, material level, and give you the chance to steadily, there's nothing dramatic or swift about this energy, it's like this incremental, steady, increasing, developing talents into skills to a new level. The ultimate outcome hopefully will be that you then play a very different role within social network or a very big group made up maybe of the sorts of people who are underpinning the direction you know like your life to follow. Your ruling planet, Jupiter, at the root of your chart brings with it an increased sense of stability and security, and Jupiter is going to be in there until late January 2011. So externally your base of operations is likely to expand or improve, and it could mean that you're coming and going more, or just have more long distance interests, and that could be over the wires as well. If you're looking, this is a good time for you to move or make that plan, get it set in your mind. Perhaps also you could be looking around at that this month, as a matter of fact. And Jupiter, you see, is a teacher planet, and that indicates that you will have been able, over this long transit of Jupiter, which is due to end in the second part of January, learn things from those in your community or environment, whether that's in person out the door or over the wires, and it could have enhanced your overall grasp of a philosophy, or something to do with spirituality as well, but it can also be academic type, more sort of formal type learning. So it could even have been a culture that's been quite strange to you, and that you would have thought wouldn't be your style at all. Uranus's influence in this same area until March gives all of this an edge, and there could be some break with past routines or family traditions. Uranus is probably going to be affecting more you late Saggies. Changes that affect the lives of family members as well. You could be feeling those, and there could be an underlying emotional tension or uncertainty to do with your sort of the bedrock of your life and your emotional roots, but also for them also, nearest and dearest, or those within a community that you are part of. So still this uncertainty, unsureness, as things slowly slip into their new places by sometime next March. From the 22nd, you'll be focusing more on material stuff, finances, property, anything which may affect you materially over the shorter or the longer term. Around the 28th, 29th, you may feel a bit hemmed in with commitments, maybe working harder at cooperating and using more mental focus. Well, that's it for December. If you know your rising sign, listen to that too. And also watch out for the stars for the whole of 2011. They'll be coming up on here shortly. May I wish you a happy Christmas, and I'll see you the next time.